How's it going? I caught some of one of your latest videos last evening as I was falling into sleep, titled The Pain of Information. Where you were talking a bit about being immersed. I intimately identify with what you shared in that video, The Pain of Information. I'm thankful I caught what I did. I mean, goes for saying about every one of your videos, bud. Yeah, just so wonderful and amazing. I look forward to every one of your uploads, man. You wonder why I'm not buying your merchandise. I got a post about it, or I made a video. I'm pretty sure I explained myself somewhere here. Before I went under last evening, listening to The Pain of Information, I caught you talking some about Jesus and yeast. Yeah, I'd like to delve more into that, if I remember correctly, as I was falling into sleep, running right along that border, you know. You started into another line of perspective concerning something else adjacent, but yeast and Jesus and the bread. You know, I remember seeing on this Black Magic rectangle a while ago some chick making bread out of the yeast from her gash, you know? Yeah, using her breast milk in recipes too, stuff like that. So, if Mary was a virgin, right, she's still prone to a yeast infection, I'm sure. Anyways, I'm no gynecologist, but I think virgins can get yeast infections. Isn't that true? Yeah, yeast. See if I can find posts that hook up with what I'm blathering here. But yeast is old, right? Yeast and proteins have been here. And been here and been here. But you know what wasn't always here? I mean, in this earthly physical realm, it was water, right? Water unto itself is what they characterize as an alien entity to this planet. I mean, it didn't organically come to be here. It was from somewhere else, first of all. Water being God. And listen, you know, you really should be keyword searching myminds.com channel or profile or whatever it is they call it over there. And so Jesus and yeast and the bread, and Mary being a virgin gets a yeast infection from an alien yeast. And the water that was introduced to this physical dimension. And the water is God, and the right humidity, right cozy temperature. Well, yeast and water, they activate. I don't know if you ever baked a loaf of bread before. Sometimes you gotta use sugar, you know. And this is where we come in with the sweetness of the wine. So we have bread and we have wine. So yeah, I think the yeast infection notion might be something that we could look more into. The pain of information. I'm gonna have to stick it in my ear this afternoon when I'm doing some household chores. Because like I said, I was falling into sleep, as I usually am with most of them, and I go back and catch the back end over dishes or a broom, you know. But so I'm excited to hear what that last half's got to offer. That went on while I was unconscious there. Talking about being immersed, right? Talking about how your dad was saying, you know, you're going in too deep, son. You know, you're going in too deep on everything you lay your eyes upon or open your ear to. You go in too deep. You breathe too much. You know, wife, she calls me Mr. Double Bottom. She says that I'm always looking for that other layer, you know, trying to find an explanation for what's going on underneath. Well, I don't see it. Anyway. I don't mean to take up too much of your time this morning. I just wanted to let you know that I'm so thankful, especially for that episode last evening, The Pain of Information. Well, I suppose I should get back to the house. I got kashamana planned this morning with strawberry jam. Fucking kashamana, how you say it in English even. I don't know the name of it in English. It's a yummy breakfast, right? It's with like the white processed wheat, right? You know, you boil milk, right? And then you whisk that into it there, right? What's it called? Anyways, it's gonna be a beautiful day. I see if I can catch up on some yard work in the cooler morning hours. Yeah, so that, like I was saying, that's about it, really. I don't have much more to share other than my thankfulness for your fellowship. I'm nothing but thankful to my Heavenly Father and my brothers All right. Have a nice day. Talk to you again soon.